Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef and I'm so excited to party with you tonight. I'm going to show you how to make air fryer chicken Parmesan using Pampered Chef's Deluxe Air Fryer. The air fryer is probably my favorite appliance from Pampered Chef. Even though I love all of them, I probably use it more than any of the others. My husband also uses it, and it gets used more than any of the other appliances in our home. I love this recipe. It's actually my favorite air fryer recipe. So you get to see my favorite appliance and my favorite recipe. I hope you enjoyed the party. You're going to find the specials, links to the catalog, all of the things that you need to know are going to be below this post in the party. And if at any time you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. That's what I'm here for, and I want to help you with your order and any questions that you have. So let's go ahead and get started on our chicken Parmesan. So I'm going to zoom in, show you guys a little closer look here. We're going to start by cooking our pasta, and we're going to do that in our 3-quart micro cooker plus. So I've already got some cheese-filled tortellini in here, and I've already covered it with water. This micro cooker is different from all of the other sizes that we have because it has 2 lids. So you'll see there's an inner lid and an outer lid. The purpose of the inner lid is to keep starchy foods from boiling over. So our other micro cookers you can't use for pastas and rice and potatoes and other starchy things because it doesn't have the inner lid. They're really more for reheating and for steaming. But for this one, the reason it's called the Plus 3-quart micro cooker plus is because you can do more than just steaming vegetables and reheating leftovers. This is also a product I use regularly, whether I'm cooking rice or pasta, use it all the time. So cheese-filled tortellini, and this is just refrigerated cheese-filled tortellini. Put the inner lid right here and then place the outer lid on the top. And then you're gonna lock the lid and put this in the microwave. We're gonna cook this for about 8 minutes. This pasta is pretty delicate. It's not as hard as like a box of pasta, and so it's not gonna take quite as long. If you're doing a box of pasta, that would take anywhere from 12 to 16 minutes, depending on the pasta type. So I say start with 12, stir it, see if you need any more time, and then you can add that in. Let me pop this in the microwave, and then I'm gonna show you a couple of the things that I did ahead of time, and then we're gonna finish it up to put it in the air fryer. So let me put this in the microwave. Okay, so I've got that in the microwave. The next thing we want to do is we want to get our tomatoes ready, and then we're going to finish breading the chicken. I did half of it already just for time's sake, so you don't have to watch me do all of that. But for this step, what we're going to do is we're going to slice some tomatoes, put them in the drip tray that goes into the Deluxe air fryer, and when the chicken is cooking, the tomatoes are going to kind of roast underneath them. So this is the drip tray, so we're not really cooking in that necessarily, but we are going to let those tomatoes roast down there. This is our closing cut, and this is where I like to say I get to do magic tricks. So this product here has 2 spring-loaded plates, one on the top and one on the bottom, and what this does is it pushes the plates together so that you can get an even cut with whatever you're slicing in half. So these are some large grape tomatoes, but we're going to fill this plate with these. Probably will take 2 batches to do this. And then you just close this down, and we're gonna take our knife and slide it straight across. Now, you can use this for many other things, not just tomatoes. So you can use it for mozzarella balls. You can also use this for thick chicken breasts if you wanna cut them in half or just butterfly them, you can do that. You can take a bagel, cut it in half, cut the half of the bagel in half if you wanted to make bagel thins or bagel chips. So lots of possibilities here. So we've got our tomatoes. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're pressing in the middle of this lid, because if you press just here, you're just gonna put the 2 edges of the plates together. They're not gonna completely be parallel with each other, and that's what you want. So you're gonna press down in the middle, make sure you're getting full contact there, and then pull up just enough to fit that knife in there. We're just gonna do a gentle saw motion back and forth, and you can see all of these tomatoes are perfectly cut in half. I'm gonna put these in our drip tray. Let's do the rest so you get to see this again. And this little container that I have the tomatoes in, this is our Easy Read measuring cup. I love this because you can measure, rinse, and drain in the same container. So let's do this again. Press completely in the middle. Slice all the way across. We're gonna put these in the drip tray. And then let's show you our air fryer. Give you a closer look, move my faucet handle. So this is the Deluxe air fryer, and you have all of the settings here. So you have a custom setting. This is where you can set the time and the temp. You have a cancel button if you did something wrong and you want to start it over, just press the cancel button. You have a rotate button. This does come with a rotating basket and a rotisserie spit. If you're not using the rotisserie setting, but you want it to rotate, you can always just press rotate, because none of the other pre-programmed settings are going to automatically rotate whatever is on the hooks in there. We also sell a skewer set that's separate from the air fryer. That also is something that would go on rotate. There's a light button, which you can see the light is already lit up. The pre-programmed settings that we have on each side, we have air fry, bake, roast, rotisserie, reheat, and dehydrate. So just so that you know, our air fryer, all of the settings do exactly the same thing, just at a different temperature. So the dehydrate is going to be a really low temperature, but the time is going to be a lot longer than, say, the reheat or the air fry, because those are at 400. And you can adjust the time for any of the pre-programmed settings. You just can't change the temperature on that. But if you want to change the temperature, you can just do the custom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just spreading around these tomatoes. We're going to place this in the bottom of the air fryer. And then I've already got one tray of our chicken ready to go in. So I'm going to slide this in the top section, and then I'm going to show you how I got those ready to go. So I'm just going to take a sheet pan. I find that this helps me keep from making a big mess. I'm going to place my air fryer rack on the sheet pan, and I like to use these little parchment squares. Get these from Amazon, and I can share a link for anyone that might need those. I like these because they're pre-cut, they're the right size, and they already have the holes in them. The holes are better than a solid sheet of parchment paper because they allow the airflow to come through the paper. So that's why I recommend using these. So we're gonna set this just aside, and then I wanna get our coating trays over here. And like I said, I already started, I did one set of these, one tray of these off camera, just for time's sake. Let's see if I can rearrange this so I have a little bit more space to work with. So I have in this tray, these are our coating trays, by the way, and I like that they sort of stack on top of each other. So if you're dripping into the next tray rather than onto your countertops. So I have flour, I have a milk and egg mixture here, and then this is a mixture of panko breadcrumbs, Pampered Chef Italian seasoning mix, and some Parmesan cheese. And if you are not familiar with Pampered Chef seasonings, I highly recommend them. They are my favorite, and that's my preference anytime that I'm cooking to use those. And they're all gluten-free and they're kosher. So we're gonna get the rest of this chicken ready. I'm gonna reach around here and grab a pair of tongs. These are our chef's tongs. They come in 2 different sizes, so hopefully you guys can see one is shorter than the other. And I love these because they're gravity controlled. So when they're pointed down, all you have to do is squeeze. This little button dropped and they open. Point them up, squeeze, and they stay locked and closed. Same thing for the larger ones. You point them up, they stay closed. Point them down, squeeze, and they open. So I'm gonna use the smaller ones for this. I've just got some chicken tenders in this bowl. You're gonna start by tossing these in the flour and then the egg mixture. A lot of people think you do the egg first and then the flour, but you're gonna do the flour and then the egg. So we're just gonna mix these together, and I'll bring my little tray over here. The reason I use the parchment paper is just so that the chicken doesn't stick to the tray. The trays can go in the dishwasher for easy cleanup, but it's even easier to clean if you use those parchment paper pieces. All right, just a few more of these, and then we'll put these in the air fryer, and they're gonna go on the air fry setting for 18 minutes. One thing I really love that's unique to Pampered Chef's air fryer is that it beeps halfway through, letting you know to switch the trays. Just like in a regular oven, if whatever's closest to the top or the heating element is going to cook faster or brown faster. And so halfway through, we need to rotate the trays so that the tray on the top doesn't overcook, and we want to make sure the tray that's in the middle completely cooks. All right, I just have a couple more after this. And then we'll start that, and I'm also gonna show you how to make a really delicious salad dressing and some French bread or Italian loaf bread is what I bought at the store, just to kind of dress that up a little bit. Give you a whole dinner in less than 30 minutes. Let's see, toss these. And I will say, I usually use a little bit more panko crumbs, Parmesan cheese, and Italian seasoning than the recipe says. I feel like maybe I don't know, maybe I coat them more than normal, so I always just add a little bit extra. And I don't measure cheese ever, so little's good, a lot's better. If you get to know me, or if you already know me, then you're not surprised about that at all. All right, I'm gonna just shuffle these around so that we can fit that on there. And I have one little small piece. Just gonna toss this little nugget here. All right, put that on here. And then let me move some of this out of the way. All right, let's go ahead and put this in the air fryer. So let me come back over here. And you may have heard the microwave. Let's see. I'm doing this at this weird angle. Oh, I didn't mention this little red piece here. This is an oven rack protector. It's actually a product that Pampered Chef discontinued, but it has been in our outlet, so it's possible, depending on when you watch this video, that it might be still something that you can still purchase. All right, air fry is the setting. The default time is 25 minutes. I'm gonna press this wheel, and I'm gonna lower the time to 18 minutes. The temperature is 400 and you don't change that. Press the start button and this is gonna start. So while we're waiting on this, let me grab our pasta. My microwave will continue to make noise, and then I'll come right back and we'll finish up this recipe. All right. So let's see, I'm gonna just clean up a little bit here. I'm gonna discard this flour and these breadcrumbs. I hate to waste food, but like I said, I don't really measure a whole bunch, and that's what happens sometimes. Okay, so here is our 3-quart micro cooker plus. If you have Pampered Chef's rice cooker, this is basically the same product, and we changed the name, and I have to really think hard when I'm telling people what this product is called. Now, when you get this open, most of the time, these lids are not going to stick together, and you don't want to put your finger in here because this is really hot. So I either use like the end of one half of my kitchen shears just to kind of poke that, and just like a pot on the stove, you want to open this away from you so that you don't burn yourself. Let's see, I'll grab these tongs. So we have our perfectly cooked tortellini. Doesn't this look great? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the outer lid back on and lock the lid because I'm gonna drain this over my sink. And so you guys can see how easy it is to drain the water. Just make sure you're holding on to that top and make sure the lid is locked on. Give this a little shake and then put that little bit out. Okay, so our tortellini is pretty much ready. We're going to add this to a couple of other things, but I'm gonna let this cool off just a little bit before we add the oil, balsamic, and some fresh basil. So let's talk about our salad and our salad dressing. So for our salad, I have just some romaine lettuce here. You can use any lettuce you want. You can chop it yourself. You can buy it in a bag. It really doesn't matter. I really love this salad bowl and the serving set here. It's just a beautiful presentation on the table. For today, I'm just making a basic salad, but you could add tomatoes. You could slice them with the closing cut. You could do julienne carrots, add some Parmesan cheese, whatever you like. You can get pretty creative with this, but this is our salad, and I'm gonna make the salad dressing in our measure, mix, and pour. So I love this. It has a lid that comes right off. There are 2 recipes printed on the bottle, so you have a simple creamy dressing and a simple vinaigrette. We are using a variation of the vinaigrette, and you can find those recipes on the recipe card that comes with the purchase of the Easy Read measuring cup. So we're gonna just add our ingredients. I have them all ready. We're gonna pour in some balsamic vinegar. And remember, the recipes will be posted in the party, so you'll be able to get exact measurements on everything. We're gonna put some oil. You could use olive oil or vegetable oil for this. We're gonna add a little bit of honey. And I've got this with our little petite measuring cup. Toss that in. And let's see. I'm gonna use the back of my knife. I didn't bring a little scraper over here. I don't wanna waste that honey. That's a petite measure all cup. We're gonna add some pepper and garlic, salt, not garlic salt, garlic, salt, and Dijon mustard. So let's go ahead and add the salt. Oops, it's one to stick in there. And this is our pink Himalayan sea salt that also is available from Pampered Chef, and that was the crushed peppercorn, excuse me, the crushed peppercorn medley. Maybe it's not crushed, just peppercorn medley. I'm getting two of our seasonings combined in my head here. We're gonna take our garlic cloves, stick it in the garlic press. You do not have to peel it first. Press that in, and then whatever is left right here, just scrape it off with a little cleaning tool and scrape that in. Now this piece looks like a Barbie doll comb. You're gonna just press this inside of the press and it releases that paper skin. And then you can just toss that in the garbage, and the garlic press goes in the dishwasher for easy cleanup. Rinse my hands. My kitchen already smells so good from this chicken Parmesan that we have going. All right, so I use Dijon mustard in such small quantities that I actually ordered these little single serving packets on Amazon because I don't like taking up the space in my fridge for something that I end up throwing away before I can use it all. So I like these because they're shelf stable. I can just keep them in the pantry. So that's just a little tip, because whenever I use Dijon mustard, it's usually such a small amount. Now, if you go to a restaurant or a sandwich shop that has these, you could always ask them if they would sell you, a handful of them too. All right. And then we're gonna put the lid on here. And I love this because it has a little lid here that you can adjust, so when you're ready to pour, you press here, it opens it up on this side. But for this, we wanna make sure we're pressing down to keep it closed. You're gonna shake up the balsamic vinaigrette, and then this is ready to go on your salad. You can put this in the refrigerator, and then whenever you're ready to use it, you probably will have to shake it again because the oil will separate. So this is the balsamic vinaigrette, which is a variation recipe that comes in the little recipe card that you get with your Measure, Mix, and Pour. All right, so what we're gonna do next, I'm gonna grab my next tray. We're gonna get our bread ready to go. And if you guys have questions at all during the videos that you're gonna see in the party, just leave comments. Feel free to text me. However way you want to contact me, I'm more than happy to answer you. All right, so this is just an Italian loaf, store-bought bread. You don't have to bake this unless you want to. We are going to toast this in the oven. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our bread knife, and I'm just gonna slice this. And this bread knife is part of our forged cutlery knife block set. I love our forged cutlery because they are full tangs. So let me tell you what that means. The blade goes all the way through the handle, and you'll see that we have 3 bolts holding this all together. So you're never gonna have to worry about the handle breaking off. These also come with a lifetime guarantee, and they are phenomenal. I have no doubt everyone is going to enjoy those. All right, let's start adding these to our pan. So I've got some butter, and I softened this a little bit in the microwave. You can let it soften at room temperature if you like. We're just gonna take our small spreader and spread some butter over these slices. Add them to our sheet pan. I really like Pampered Chef's metal sheet pans. They have rolled edges. They are made of steel, so they're not gonna ever bend and flex. Like, these things are super, super heavy duty. A couple more of these. And you can fill the pan completely. I actually don't wanna toast more than my family is gonna be able to eat at one time. So we're just gonna go with that. Here, I'll add this little heel of the bread. Go ahead and finish using this butter. How about that? Butter is another thing. I don't usually measure. I'm a Southern girl. A little's good, a lot's better. Okay, you could leave this. I love just plain buttered bread, but if you want to spice it up a little bit, add some of Pampered Chef's sweet basil rub. I'm gonna just pop this little lid, oops, wrong side, the sprinkle side, and you can actually just sprinkle a little bit of this on here. I'm gonna do that on some, but not all, because my kids probably prefer that without the seasoning. So this is going to be the bread for our, to go with our dinner tonight with the chicken Parmesan. So So I'll set this aside for the moment. We have just about 1.5 to 2 minutes left before we have to rotate our air fryer chicken. So let me move a couple of things around here and tell you what we're gonna do next. I also wanna point out, okay, here we go. That was our, I hope you guys could hear that. The beeping sound, it's telling you, hey, halfway through, rotate your pans. So let me show you what this looks like. And I really like using these mini oven mitts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the top tray, and I'm actually gonna change my view of the camera here so that I can make sure you see this. So this is what the top tray looks like, and I'll grab the middle tray so that you can see. Oops, I better move that to the middle. All right. So this is what the middle tray looks like, so not as brown. So we need to put that on the top. Close that lid. So I've closed that back, and we're gonna let it continue to finish cooking. It's gonna take about 9 more minutes. After that 9 minutes is up, I'm actually gonna take this package of fresh mozzarella cheese. Now I bought one that was sliced. If you buy the ball, you can use our quick slice to slice those up, and I'm gonna need to use my scissors. Oh wait, maybe not. Couldn't find the little pull tab. I like these because they're already sliced and they're a really nice size. Let's see. So these are already sliced. You can just gently pull them apart, and then when it's time, we'll put these on top of, I'll go ahead and slice these, or excuse me, pull these pieces apart. We'll put these on top of the little chicken tenders. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm gonna cut this one. I don't think they really sliced that end very well. Now I usually leave half of the chicken without the cheese because I have a picky eater in my house and he just wants the chicken tenders. So if you have a picky eater in your house, just know that this particular recipe is great because the chicken tenders are delicious without the cheese and all on their own if you're not mixing them in with the tortellini. I feel like whoever's job it was to slice these, they didn't do a very good job because normally these just come right apart. No big deal. Let me grab my quick slice and I'll show you that. Let me wash my hands. Hang tight. Okay. So you're gonna get to see another product that I wasn't planning to show you, but this is the quick slice, and I love it because it has this really cool blades. But we're gonna lay this across right here and just gently slide that through. And look, perfect slices of cheese. Now this pan is one of our modular sheet pans, and it comes with 2 smaller pans that actually fit in the air fryer. I'll grab that so you can see it. So if you want to get the modular sheet pan set, you're going to get 2 small pans and this medium pan. So the 2 small ones will fit in the air fryer. This medium-sized pan I will actually can put in the oven. If you have a larger size toaster oven, of course that will fit in there. But we've got our cheese ready so that when our chicken is done, we have 6 more minutes on that, then we can top that and they'll go back in the air fryer for 2 minutes. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get our tortellini ready to go. Once you guys make this recipe, I cannot wait for you to tell me what you think. Like I said, this is my favorite air fryer recipe. I don't make the same recipes very often, mostly because my recipes are tax write-offs since Pampered Chef is my business and my job. And because of that, I get to write off my groceries whenever I test a recipe. And I cannot tell you how many times I've made this chicken Parmesan recipe because we just love it so much. But most of the time, I'm trying new things. And I didn't mention this before, or if I did, I don't think, I don't remember. This is double the amount of pasta. So I doubled the pasta, and actually what I'm gonna do, see, forgetting. I have one kid who doesn't want all of the stuff. So I'm gonna set some of this aside for him. Something just fell in my cabinet. Okay, then we're gonna add some oil. So this is also, because I doubled the pasta, even though I took some of it out, I doubled the oil, doubled the balsamic. So if you make this at home and you double it, I think if you have more than a couple, 3 or 4 people eating, then you need to double the pasta on this. You can choose if you're gonna double the chicken, but that's up to you. I'm gonna take these chef's tongs. I'm just gonna toss these with the balsamic and oil. And then we're gonna chop some basil on the top, and then we're going to shred some Parmesan cheese. So I have some fresh basil. We're going to take our herb mill, pop this open, and this piece here just comes right out for easy cleanup. That's actually the mill. So we're going to put this in just like that. And I'm actually going to shake this just a little bit. Damages the herbs, but check this out. Hopefully I didn't get too many in there. Let's see, I might have too many. There we go. It's gonna push, that little ball is gonna push the herbs right into the mill. Give it a little shake. I'm making a little bit of noise here. There we go. I usually have 1 or 2 really stubborn leaves. Let's see if we can get that last one. There we go. So this is the herb mill, dishwasher safe product. Absolutely love this. We have 4 minutes left on our chicken, so I can't wait for you to see that. Just toss this, and then when our chicken is done, we're gonna pour the tomatoes in here, toss that all around, and then after the cheese is done melting, we're going to put the chicken on top of the pasta. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And then we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese, because again, a little's good, a lot's better. So this is our microplane zester grater, and it has a kickstand, which I love, and I'm actually just gonna grate this cheese right in this little sheet pan. So we're gonna shred our Parmesan cheese. You can use this for fresh garlic, fresh ginger, fresh turmeric. You can use it for zesting citrus fruit, lemons, limes, oranges, grapefruit. I've used it for all of the things that I just told you. You can even use it for fresh nutmeg. But if you're doing fresh nutmeg, make sure that you grate the outer part of the nut first and discard that. You don't want to eat the outer part, so get rid of that, and then you can have fresh grated nutmeg. All right, a little bit more cheese. We have 2 minutes left, so I've timed this pretty good. All right. All right, while we're waiting on that, I'm gonna give you another little trick. Let me grab some olive oil here. Let's see. And then I'll grab just a spoon. For the tortellini that I reserved, I'm just gonna put a little bit of oil in here, not a lot. You could even use the kitchen spritzer and spray this with oil and just kind of toss it so it doesn't stick together. So you're just tossing this in oil. And that's also what you want to do anytime you are refrigerating leftover pasta that you're not going to be using right away. Spritz it with some oil so that it doesn't stick together. All right, so let's see here. We're going to take out our tray here in just a second. I have 1 minute or less left on that. So while we're waiting on that, I just want to remind you, be sure to check out the specials and make sure you come back to the party. I do post new content most every day, and you will get an email recap once a day letting you know that there's something new in the party and to come back and check it out. All right, so 1 minute left. I'm going to go ahead and get my mini oven mitts ready. See, they cover almost my whole hand. And then these are the microwave grips. You could use either one to take these trays out of the air fryer. So I love that I can just push the light and I can kind of peek inside. So we're almost ready to put our cheese on top of our chicken Parmesan, and then 2 minutes after that, it's gonna be ready to eat. So let me take this out. I'm gonna do one tray. Bring this back over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna take the tray of tomatoes. The tray that the tomatoes are on, this is the drip tray. This is the only piece that goes inside of the air fryer that's not dishwasher safe. So I'm gonna toss this into the tortellini and go ahead and toss this. And now we're gonna take the cheese, and I'm actually gonna cut some of these to fit. And I'm just gonna do one, well, I'm gonna do most of the chicken with cheese this time. I may just make another batch with no cheese. And that's what I love about using the air fryer, and also this recipe in general. It's so quick, so easy. Like, it's not a big deal to go back and make another batch of chicken. All right, so even though I have this little piece here, this is just not gonna keep me from burning myself if I happen to touch this. But to actually move this tray, I do recommend that you use the oven mitts. All right, so I'm gonna take this out, put this tray on the top, and then let's add our cheese to these. And we're gonna put them in for 2 minutes. Some of these are like bigger pieces of chicken than the others. Let's see if I've got enough to fit this on there. I love, love, love cheese. It's my favorite ingredient probably. And here, we'll put a little piece on this little nugget. Okay, they're nice and crispy. They're not dried out. Place this back in on the middle tray. And this is gonna be put on air fry again. So I'm gonna turn the knob to the first setting, press the wheel, go down to 2 minutes and press start. It's at 400 degrees. So 2 minutes, and that's gonna be ready to go. So I'm gonna move a couple things around. Oops. So that we can finish this up. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the party. Please keep in mind that our host will get credit for every party booked from her party. So if you're watching this and thinking, man, this is so easy, my friends can come and watch anytime at their convenience. There's no set date or time to watch the video, and they can shop your party and you get to earn rewards. I truly do all the work for you, and you can ask your host if that is true, and I'm sure they will say yes, because that's the best thing. The best compliment I get is that I make my parties super, super easy. So I can't wait to eat this for lunch myself, and we'll probably eat it for dinner tonight. My kids have Taekwondo tonight, and so this is a perfect meal for a night where we're going to be coming in. I can just reheat the leftovers, by the way, right in the air fryer, and then the extra pasta that I have reserved for one of my kids, that will be reheated in the microwave very, very easily. All right, we've got about 30 or 40 seconds. I'll pull that out. We're gonna put the chicken right on the top of the pasta, and then I'm gonna add some more Parmesan cheese on the top of that, and then this is going to be ready to go, and we'll have our air fryer chicken Parmesan. We're gonna have our salad with our balsamic vinaigrette, and we have the toasted Italian bread sprinkled with the sweet basil rub. So the two seasonings I used today, the Italian seasoning is what I used on the chicken. The sweet basil rub is what I sprinkled on top of the buttered bread, and we'll toast that probably at 350 for maybe 10 or 12 minutes, depending on how crispy you want that to be. So let's grab our chicken, and I'll let you guys see this. Look how beautiful. So we're gonna take this, set it on top of the chicken Parmesan, or the tortellini rather. And then look, I want you to see how easy it's gonna be to clean up these trays. Whoops, super easy because they don't have anything stuck to them. Whoops, I'm trying to use my tongs to take that out. All right, more chicken. Add that in. I love that this is so much healthier than if you were to fry this chicken. All right, same thing, throw this away, and I do recommend putting this on a sheet pan so that you don't end up with all these crumbs, but our trivets are also dishwasher safe, so I'm not super worried about that. All right, and then we've got our Parmesan cheese, and I like to do this because it's just a nice finish. Usually I save a little bit of the basil to put on the top, but I did not remember to do that today. So I have more I will put some more on the top before I take pictures. And you can find this recipe as well as thousands of other recipes in my recipe community at theflipflopchef.com. And I also have a prize giveaway every single Friday. So all you have to do to enter to win that prize is go to the recipe group at theflipflopchef.com, find the Flip Flop Friday post, leave your comment. Usually it's just a comment like saying, yes, I want to win that. There's no strings attached. And on Mondays, I give away a free gift. And so everybody that comments from Friday to Monday gets entered into that drawing. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Let me show you again everything that we have here so that you can see. Obviously the bread has not been toasted yet. So we've got our air fryer chicken Parmesan, our toasted Italian loaf bread. We have our salad and salad dressing. So what do you guys think? This is such a quick and easy meal, comes together in less than 30 minutes, probably faster if you are not telling somebody how to make this recipe. So I hope you enjoyed the party. I can't wait to hear from you guys. Let me know if you need help while you're shopping, and I'll see you next time.